One of the fastest and easiest ways to boost your conversion rates on your sales pages is by adding a simple 3 to 5 minute video sales letter. And we use this simple 4-step process to boost our own sales conversion rates, even if you don't want to show your face. Hey, I'm Jason, faith-based entrepreneur and marketing geek. Timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our funnel template pack that has our top converting funnel pages, email automation, and course framework that allows you to go from idea to sales in just a few days. All right, so at the top of your sales page, normally you'll just launch with an image of your product. But once you've done all the work of writing a sales page, you probably have enough to go ahead and put together a quick 3 to 5 minute video. No, we don't have to show our face. It can all be slides. I can tell you from personal experience, trying to memorize any sort of video stinks. I always paraphrase these, for example. You could probably tell because I ramble quite a bit. Speaking of rambling, let's get back to the point. So this video will just replace that image at the top, and it's designed to hook your ideal customers in, demonstrate your authenticity, deliver a quick little workshop, and then, of course, kickstart them to action. And with these highlighted words, the acronym is HWAK. Now, why HWAK? Because I was just trying to come up with something I thought sounded cool, and I was playing with different copywriting frameworks, and HWAK kind of stood out. So let's go ahead and run with it. So let's talk about hook, right? So when it comes to hooking our ideal customers in, this is going to be the first 90 seconds of our video, and we're going to do 3 things. We'll start with a simple enrolling question, asking them if they have the problem that our product solves. And then we go ahead and define what the problem is, and then we agitate a little bit because we need people to take action today. And so instead of just saying, hey, do you have this problem? This problem causes XYZ. We say, and if you don't fix it now, it's also going to cause ABC. Now, you could fill it in with like real words, but that's essentially what we're doing here. We're asking an enrolling question, defining what the problem is, and then agitating it by saying, hey, this is going to get worse if you don't solve it. So that does it for our hook. So next we have authenticity. This is the part where, like you're watching a webinar and they like go on for 30 minutes about how awesome they are and all the things they've accomplished. And you just like, this is a snooze fest. So we don't want to do that to people. And this is a 3-minute video instead of a 3-hour webinar. So here we have like, let's say 60, 90 seconds max, where we are going to do a humble introduction, and we just have to demonstrate that we know what we're talking about, right? We just need to show some sort of quick proof that we have some level of authority for what we're about to deliver in our workshop and, of course, in whatever offer that we're making. And so this definitely doesn't need to turn into a brag snooze fest. And that's why I like keeping this section as short as possible so we can get into the next section, which is the workshop. And this is going to be the bulk of your content. This is where you might have 2 to 3, maybe even 3.5 minutes. If you have 4 minutes, then you're way too long and the video is longer than 5 minutes anyway at this point. So all we want to do is either deliver a quick explanation as to what they need to do to achieve the results that they want, not how, but what. We're just giving them an overview. It's a 3-minute video. We don't have time to get into the details. Or we could show some sort of product demonstration and how whatever it is we have to offer will help them achieve the results that they want. And through that demonstration, they see what they need to do. And so this is really important. So as an example, we have a Google Ads launch kit, and part of it talks about how we go about structuring campaigns so that we get a good combination of ads and keywords and lower cost per clicks and all that other fun stuff. But inside there, we actually share our formula for what we do. Now, do we go into each intricate detail of like, we do this keyword and we do that ad? Like, no, we only have 3 minutes again. But if someone doesn't purchase, they know our general methodology and they could actually understand what we do, and they could actually go start applying that methodology. And so one of the things that I've noticed too in trying to teach other students how to do this is there's this fear that, oh no, I'm going to give too much away. You literally can't give too much of your product away in 3 minutes. It's physically impossible. So you don't have to worry about holding back here. Like there's some big secret that you have to hold for your course or digital product. You can show what they need to do and your product will still be valuable. So anyway, we'll move on to the final section, which is super easy. Kickstart. We're going to tell them exactly what they want, what we want them to do. We could also have a guarantee in here. I tend not to have my guarantees inside of the VSL because I don't like having stuff that I have to re-record. So if I'm testing like a 30-day or 90-day or versus 60-day, I don't want to have to re-edit the video. So sometimes when it comes to numbers or pricing as well in this Kickstart section, I wouldn't say numbers out loud, just have them on the slides. And that way you can easily change the slides and you don't have to edit the video. Just a quick little tip to save you some time with video editing. Because as you can see with this example, it can be all text slides, all voiceover, and it's really easy to go back to a video and just pop in a new slide as long as you don't have to edit the audio. As soon as you have to edit the audio, then it kind of becomes a nightmare. And that's all there is to it, to writing a quick 3 to 5 minute video using the HWAK VSL formula. Now, formulas are great, but case studies and real life examples are better. So here's a meta example because this is a VSL selling a VSL training, and now we're talking about VSLs. So I'll just say VSL one more time for the heck of it, and let's go ahead and jump into this. So we start with the enrolling question, and we use some income screenshots to demonstrate we know what we're talking about. And these, of course, are supposed to represent the results that they want. And then we go into the problem. And of course, these screenshots represent the results that our ideal customers are looking for. And the problem we're talking about is not enough sales and then not enough sales skills to improve the sales. And so we present the problem in the frame of, hey, you don't have the skills to write copy to get the results that you're looking for, and you probably don't have the budget to hire copywriters at $100 an hour. And so that's what this Upwork screenshot is, showing how much copywriters actually charge. It also helps with a little something called price anchoring, but we'll leave that for a more advanced time. So then we go into agitate, we pile it on a bit more, and we show how daunting a full-blown sales letter could look like. I think we found this from like Dan Kennedy, who's one of the original direct response marketers, and just really talking about how long it can take to really learn good direct sales copywriting. So we've kind of piled it on. You want more sales, you don't have the skills, you don't have the budget to hire a professional, and you probably don't have the time to become a professional yourself. So what are you going to do? Enter our solution later on, which is what should have happened, but I was in a rush for this one. So we actually just wound up introducing the offer right then and there. But something that would have worked out a lot better is if we had teased that we could get the results that we presented in the beginning without the $100 an hour copywriter. So if I were to redo this, even though we wound up publishing it anyway, because we're always under the gun for this kind of stuff, we would have taken that solution section and put it after the authenticity. So I also wanted to use this because to show you that it's like there's not a hard and fast rule. You can move things around if it just makes more sense to you. So next we have the authenticity section. And here we moved into introducing, who I was. This was designed for warm traffic, people who had seen a YouTube video. So I didn't spend too much time introducing myself. And instead of the humble brag, I just focused on showcasing a couple more results from our agency. And I say focusing on me because at the time it wasn't just me. So I just said, look at our company, right? Pointing people elsewhere. And then for a personal touch, I could have done a slide or two about how VSLs would have changed, our perspective or the amount of money we were making at the time. So that would have been a good thing to include here. And for the workshop, we went ahead and jumped straight into talking about the offer. And as you can see here, in the slides, you see little black boxes inside of the laptop. We actually had some screen captures. And so we had like 3 quick tips about recording VSLs. And we actually showed part of our course so they could see part of the training and some of the things that we would do inside the course. And of course, if they decided not to purchase, they could take those tips and apply them to their own sales funnels as well. So you can see how even though we're not explicitly teaching, we're making sure that there's some information that they can take away from this video and actually apply it to whatever their situation is. So we're just making sure that it's still valuable. And I also had one slide talking about short form VSLs versus the long sales letters, because in the beginning I may have created this problem. I wasn't sure. We're talking about these really long sales pages. And so I wanted to address the fact that, hey, you don't actually need these to get started. Yes, they're great in some situations, but you don't necessarily need them. So also making sure I'm handling some objections if people think, sure, they might need this little sales letter for their sales page, but then they might still think they need those really, really ultra long sales pages as well, which in this particular instance for most of us, we actually don't, because we're using warm traffic. But direct response does have its place every once in a while. And then finally, super simple, right? The Kickstart section, call to action, tell people exactly what to do, which is look below the video. And of course, I should have had some risk removal here, but we went ahead and just left that on the sales page. And then if we had some testimonials, we could go ahead and have the end screen play some like uplifting music or something and show, a minute or so of testimonials, and that would have been the end of the video. But here, as you can see, I'm just telling people, check out the order form or the information below. And so that is all there is to it, to creating your VSL. And so again, as you can see, I did not show my face at all here. I am just reading a script in the background, making all sorts of mistakes, and our wonderful video editor cuts out all of it so it sounds nice and smooth. And so that's all there is to it, to creating your video sales letter. I sincerely hope this was helpful in at least showing you how simple this video can be and take away some of the anxiety of having to show your face or making this epic long script. As you can see, it's just Google Slides and text of paraphrasing pretty much what I'm saying. So if you want to learn more about our funnel strategies and actually copy our top performing funnel pages, email campaign, and even course structure, so you can get up and running in just a few days, make sure you check out that link in the description to our sales funnel template pack that has all of those and more using a free software called Systemi.io. And even if you decide not to use Systemi, you can still use all of our copywriting frameworks for whatever funnel you decide to build. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more marketing guides just like this one. And until the next, keep building the business you love.